corrections were done with the, you're talking about the asphalt, I think? On the villas. Yeah. Well, what happened that caused it? For the entire, reform?
Sorry. That's water right now.
I was telling you that he did. Right.
I didn't know that.
Okay, yeah, I just want to make sure.
Don't worry, we have some.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, I would just announce that. It's 7 super. Yeah. So if you didn't catch that, by the way, too, guys, we're broadcasting live on YouTube. The only thing that's not working is my computer.
I don't have a flip phone
I
or.
really miss you guys. Thanks for coming in.
Okay, everyone please rise for the pledge of allegiance.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Alrighty, approval agenda, are there any changes to the agenda, Nick?
There are not.
Okay. We'll entertain a motion then.
I'll make the motion.
We have a motion, is there a second? I'll second. A motion and a second, any further discussion from the council? All those in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Item D, consider approval of the minutes of the May 18th council meeting were included in your packet. Are there any changes to those? Not, will I entertain a motion?
I'll make a motion.
We have a motion, is there a second? Second. We have a motion and a second, any further discussion from the council? All those in favor, signify by saying aye. Opposed? Motion carries. All right, item E, citizens input. Assuming that's what you guys are here for, right? And I'm assuming, Mike, that you want to address us at citizens input too?
Right.
Okay, so if you guys don't mind, I'm gonna let Mike go
That's
first.
fine.
So, Mike, step on
Well, good evening to the council. Thanks for the time tonight to speak as a candidate to be your next county commissioner. Thanks to people that are watching remotely and interested citizens that are here at the meeting tonight. So I'm running to be the next Wright County Commissioner in District 5, which includes 5 cities and 9 townships, and the current commissioner in this area is retiring. So you get a new one whether you want one or not. I currently live in Woodland Township with my wife, and the last 27 years I've been a deputy sheriff patrolling Wright County, the majority of which have been in District 5 until I recently got moved because I'm running for commissioner. I didn't get fired, I got moved to St. Michael. If you want to know more, I can answer later or watch the Facebook video, but that's a rumor that's going around that I have to explain because it's not helpful for a campaign. But it's a great opportunity to be able to serve the district a different way as a commissioner rather than on the public safety end, but that experience has helped me in resolving problems by listening to all sides and in a lot of cases making life-altering decisions for people, and that's what we do. So as commissioner, I look forward to being a good liaison from the county to the cities and townships. I've worked with the cities and townships, citizens, business owners for a long time, and that helps, I think, when you come into a room for a meeting and you know a good share of the people. That kind of breaks the ice. But to be a good listening ear and a voice for the citizens of District 5. Anyone have any questions?
I just have one. Will you still be able to be a deputy if you are elected to the board?
That's a good question. Right now, I'm concentrating on becoming the next commissioner. I've gone over all the scenarios, Mayor, and I'm prepared for whatever the outcome is. But if I don't win, then I'll stay a deputy. And I think there's a rule of some sort that you can't hold 2 county positions. But I think that's unique here because I don't know of another time when another county employee has also ran for commissioner while he's been a county employee. So I guess we'll work that out after election day if that happens, but I don't know what my status would be, I guess, if I'm a commissioner as far as the deputy side of it. So some people are at my meetings, people say, well, if you don't pull us over, we'll vote for you for commissioner. And I said, well, there's one way to guarantee that I will never write you another speeding ticket, and that's to elect me commissioner. So maybe I'll get some extra support that way. But otherwise, the Facebook page is out there. I left some bedtime reading for you folks here. There's a lot of info on the site, videos. People seem to like to watch the videos versus text. There's going to be a fundraiser deal planned for July. It's a unique campaign season because everything's being canceled, postponed, the fair, the parades, the whole thing. So name recognition, whatever you had or didn't have in the past will be probably a big part of it. And then just paying more money for ads and different things to get the word out. But I like the interaction and engagement with the public, and that works for me. Anything else? All right, thank you. Hope for your golden support, all right?
Yeah, good luck.
Okay, good luck.
All right, so we're still the citizens input portion, and I understand we have a number of residents here from the 6th Avenue area, do I have that right? To address a number of issues, so I don't know if you want to each get up and speak, or however you want to do it. We're pretty relaxed, so.
We kind of talked about a little bit, and you have this learn in front
Yeah.
of you. This is somewhat that might be repeat. I included the ordinances, I'm sure you guys know your ordinances, just to show you all the highlighted ones are the ones that we're having issues with. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen of Howard Lake City Council. My name is Jennifer Christensen. I reside at 524 9th Street. I'm here tonight with my husband Corey and my neighbors Mark and Marie. They live right across the street. They reside on the corner of 9th and 6th because of the problems we've been experiencing ongoing for almost 2 years now. We've all been experiencing problems with one neighbor, Nicholas Cummings, who resides at 912 6th Avenue. The problems with Nick started as soon as he moved into this neighborhood. His residence has become the party house in the neighborhood with loud cars, loud music coming and going nonstop. No one comes or goes from this residence without doing a burnout, running a stop sign, or flipping off anyone who's standing outside in their yard. Multiple times weekly, Nicholas and his friends sit outside his residence and do burnouts which fill the neighborhood and our house with smoke and the smell of burnt rubber. The public street in front of his house has begun to look like a racetrack with burnout marks. I also attached pictures of what the road looks like and the smoke clouds there's only one. I think, Nick, do you have it, or did you get one? Pete got it. Pete's got it. So, I mean, this is like a daily basis for us. We have just for the smoke, which is burnt rubber. Last Friday, June 12th, we arrived home from work, and he was having yet another party. That evening, they filled our house with burnout smoke again. They had an air horn outside that they were continually blowing just to irritate us. The windows of the house were shaking from extremely loud rap music, blaring with the bass cranked as high as possible, and also a huge bonfire with cardboard or paper that was on fire and floating up into the trees, houses, and St. James School. We called dispatch 3 times that night, and my husband Corey spoke with Chief Thompson as well. Each time the police came to Nick's house and left, the noise got louder. He obviously finds it a joke anytime law enforcement visits him. We've also tried asking Nick ourselves to keep it down, no avail. You get sworn at. Nick and his friends repeatedly run the stop sign at 6th Avenue and 9th Street and drive erratically, extremely dangerous speeds down our residential streets. We have witnessed him barely missing oncoming cars and pedestrians. It's not just Nick. Our intersection at 6th and 9th has become extremely dangerous. People run the sign all the time, and we're requesting a lot more police presence there at that intersection. Attached, I've included highlighted copies of city ordinances that Nick has been breaking almost on a daily basis. I'm going to call your attention to some of those that are highlighted. I'm not going to read them out. I'm sure you guys are aware of them. But the ones is he violates every noise ordinance, and then the chapter with the squealing tires and erratic driving as well. Again, every ordinance violated daily. Nick also has cars all over the street. He double parks. He parks facing the wrong way. He daily parks his cars at St. James parking lot like it's an extension to his driveway. Nick's also ripped out his public sidewalk, had it thrown out on the street, and has been parking his big truck on top of it. Kind of another screw you to everybody. Nick has also ripped the public sidewalk out, thrown it on the street, and he's destroyed the curb because they put the cars up on the curb to do burnout. So he's literally ripped the curb off of its trash. We do not think Nick has ever been charged or cited with anything other than old cars, and we are asking that some serious steps be taken to make this repeat nuisance stop. In closing, I'd like to read from Chapter 3, Section 3. This is what we're having the most problem with right now. We don't feel like it's being enforced. And it's just the duties of the police to do their job. And members of the police department shall enforce the ordinances and laws applicable to the city, bring violators before the district court, and make complaints for offenses coming to their knowledge. Members of the police department shall serve processes on behalf of the city and shall serve such notices as may be required by the council or any authority. In any case of unlawful disturbance or any person or persons or any disorderly assemblage in or about the house or place of city in Howard Lake which may disturb or annoy the inhabitants of the house or neighborhood, it shall be the duty of the police to report the scene in such awful and unlawful disturbance or disorderly assemblage, and they're to command the peace in the name of the virtue. Just saying, like, they're supposed to, enact these ordinances and protect these ordinances. And our big problem is that we don't feel that it's really being done. We've come to you tonight to have this matter on record and request that action is finally taken to make our neighborhood safe and free of noise pollution again. Our next step will be to file a dereliction of duty, as nothing is being done to remedy this to date. Thank you for your time. Kindest regards. I know those are kind of tough words at the end, but that's kind of where we're all at with everything. We feel like our concerns are not being listened to. We feel like we don't even know if they're really going over there and talking to him, because we find it really hard that as soon as they leave, that it just goes right back up. So what we're really here to do, I guess, is to have it be enforced, have something be done. We feel like we're getting nowhere with it, so that's it.
Jennifer,
Yes.
I know you listed here that you did call dispatch 3 times the one night.
Yes.
Do you have a list of all the other times that maybe they've been contacted, or, I mean, when you say that it,
My husband usually calls, so, I mean, he could probably go through his phone and,
I call all the time, you probably call Wright County, and that's it. I called Dave, because he told me to text him when something was going on, so I didn't go through dispatch in case they have the app that allows them to
Seems to quiet down as soon as you call in.
As soon as I call, 2 minutes later, it shuts down, they show up, they leave, officer Steve come by, there, everybody comes by and says something, they don't even get down the alleyway, if it's twice as bad. No, it's.
And then they find it very funny.
Now, and then it goes sit down at the end of the street, about 6 names or something, or something like that. And when they're sitting down there, they're not going to do that. When they're at a place, when they're, as soon as they drive away, they're gone, it's 10 minutes first. I've dealt with them every day for the last 10 days. I've either had to say something to them or call. Every time I call, they come. Or I call, they come, I call, they come.
It's over by the time they, you know.
Yeah, so it's impossible to catch up.
He just ran the stop sign at that corner. I mean, he did not even stop. He was doing at least 50, 60 miles an hour down the road. So it's like he's long gone by the time you even they even answer dispatch, he's gone, you know.
Almost hit the truck, he almost hit us. A lady walking with her dog, 2 kids. 2 seconds later, they would have been
Gone.
They would have been ran over. Because he just started, he was right out here, he was going, 60 miles an hour.
We also have an ATV that we have that has what, straight and legal. It's just everything is so loud.
He burst off, it goes on the other side of the way, you can hear it at my house. Windows across on the other side of the way, you can hear it all the way across. There are meetings up and down the street, no regard for anything.
Right, I was saying, clearly they have no respect for the neighbor.
Correct.
I mean, if you ask, I mean, you've done it.
And us being here tonight, we'll probably get our cars trashed. Hey, or some, you know.
Do you have any other neighbors besides yourselves that
Yes,
you've talked
Julie
to?
that
that-
lives across the street is gonna come tonight, she's supposed to sign her name on there. Kyle that lives on the corner, and
He
then,
lives on County Road 6 and 6th Street, and also on one.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
yeah, we do.
Yeah, well, the cars.
He's got different houses now, so they have time to come here. So we have their furs, we have their styles, everybody wants styles. He's got a few different styles. And
yeah.
But-
Doesn't bring up that name. Ron and Jill that live next to us, I'm sure they probably come up, and I know they did last summer, this summer they seem to be ready to do everything about it anymore, so but yeah, it is literally everyone, and I'm sure if I were to go up and down the street, I know the gal that lives in the, you don't know her name, right by St. James, I know she's been in and complaining about. Anyone that's in that vicinity, so we're here, don't know what else to do, and we literally have some other anxiety, but we can relax around. And it's a huge process.
And also, you got a big plume of rubber smoke that fills your house up. If you put what you can't even see down the hallway of the whole house. If you wonder what those open explosions are, smoke's my neighborhood out. And then when I go over there and say something to them, I get a flip top and call everything in the book. And that's not, I don't feel safe.
Right, yeah.
I don't feel safe being able to, I can take my dog outside, she'll stay in the yard, but I don't even want her out because I don't know. One day he did a burnout out of his driveway, lost control, and if my truck would have been sitting where I typically park in the summertime, he would have just plowed it because he lost control of the truck in the process of showing off.
Is he the only one who actually lives there, do you know? Not that it matters.
No, he's got, it's the flop house, there's so many people coming and going. Right, it's not really about that, it's just kind of it's become the party house of the neighborhood. It's
So, I mean, I'm obviously not here.
We don't know what to do as far as like that's fine, we'll keep calling dispatch, and we'll keep doing it so there's record of that. We don't feel like they're ever going to be able to catch him because it's done, you know, unless you guys want to come and stay the weekend at the house, you're more than welcome.
Just in your front yard.
Yep.
We're just more worried because there's little kids that are
Yes.
dodging this
drag racing down the floor, and soon we're gonna have an 8-year-old dead kid.
He almost hit Kyle's daughter, who's like 8, 9.
Yeah.
He came racing around the corner in his truck. They had a bunch of people in the box with a pickup, and they came around the corner doing a burnout sliding, and Kyle, that lives on the corner, was walking the dog on the street and came within inches of hitting her.
They had to jump out of the way.
Yeah, Heather and I used to walk that way, and we actually changed our route.
Yeah.
No offense to you guys, but
Well-
I mean, because it was, I mean, I can see,
Yeah, but it was never like that, though. We never had an issue, and now it is just.
It's a daily thing.
yeah.
It's like a race park house.
And you said he's lived there 2 years, is that what you
Roughly 2 years.
It's been, this is the second summer. I don't know, I think he moved in.
Moved in right after we did, and that was September of 18.
Right, so this is the second summer, and we're at that point now where like, really, this is how it's gonna, like, it got better. I mean, I know Dave was on him at the end of the summer, and it got better at the end of the summer last year, don't you guys think? And now this summer,
His kid was taken away from him, and I think for a short period of time, it hit him hard, but then it just went right back to where it was.
so we're here because we're at a loss,
Yeah.
and we would love help.
Yeah, well, I mean, I'm sorry that, I mean, I'm glad you guys came, we're glad that you're here. You know, I wish it would have been a little bit sooner, but, I mean, not that it probably would have changed a whole lot, but I mean, I'm glad you're here now, so I'm gonna let Nick kind of field this a little bit, because I think it's a little bit better what we have the capacity to do, and, you know, what we can't do, and any help we can offer, so I'm gonna shoot it over to Nick.
Thanks, guy. No, and I would echo a lot of what Pete said. Thanks for coming in. Like, it takes time out of your night, and it's also nerve-wracking getting up like this, so thank you. I'm trying to unpack in real time because a lot of this is new information to me. Believe it or not, the police do a lot of things that I don't know about, so that, you know, privacy and that sort of thing is kept. I can tell you that I'm at least aware of the situation, and I knew you guys were coming, so I talked to Dave quick about half an hour before the meeting. Just to reiterate a couple points that I did make to folks before the meeting, even if you feel powerless and like we're not listening, that call to dispatch means something because it creates an incident log that we would then use in future instances of enforcement. I'm somewhat surprised by the texting response because in this day and age with cops and good, bad, otherwise where you are with that, the bigger police issue, we need to dispatch our police through dispatch so we know where they're at, if they're covered, if they're safe. The days of, you know, going one-on-one from a phone call is pretty much over.
He's the one who asked us to do it.
I believe you. I'm just telling you, like, I'm gonna tell him not to do that anymore.
Okay,
Yeah,
I was gonna
because
say,
it's not
we were
safe
told
for
to
them.
do it this way,
Yeah.
so it would get done fast.
Well,
Yep.
and I'm sure on a Friday night when he starts getting text messages, he's not happy about it
Yeah,
either.
not even
I'm sure he's
necessarily
trying to
happy
enjoy
about
his
it,
evening.
but, you know, at that point, he's gonna do exactly what you would have done too by picking up the phone, calling dispatch, getting dispatch to get a cop there. In the meantime, in terms of response, the really crappy thing with most motor vehicle issues, a police officer needs to identify and verify that issue, and that's a cop seeing the actual act on there. There's some other things, so if you think about pretty much anyone that's ever gotten into a traffic accident, you file a report, then you get witness statements, and then it becomes a more like complicated legal matter. That's something that we could look at with you folks too, but having been through that personally and professionally, it sucks. Like, you're gonna be committing to subpoenas, court dates, but there are some remedies that we can look at and that I'll talk to with Dave with that too, but in that case, your whole neighborhood is gonna have to kind of do the team lift up, we verify it, we're gonna make statements, or, you know, it becomes a really kind of hard.
Monotonous, sure.
Right.
But at this point, I mean,
What about our video, if we take video, does that stand up in court? Because we have lots of video to go with the pictures too.
Where first-hand count is 8+, you're standing in front of a judge or a jury or what happens in the county district court. The cop will say, I saw this with my 2 eyes, and this is what happened. That's, you know, almost certain. Once it becomes any more degrees separate from that, if you're verbally saying it, even if it's the whole neighborhood, that's harder. If you have video, if you have audio, that kind of thing, that helps a lot. So you're actually good to be doing that stuff. Even our own police department has used simple $40 trail cams to prostitutes and stuff. So that helps as well. And also some of it, which I'm completely blindsided with tonight, just as a FYI, we do have a pretty robust code enforcement program, like junk in your yards, the cars, that stuff's handled by the two of us. We were unaware of sidewalk issues and curbs, and that stuff makes my justice meter scream because we don't have a lot of money for that to begin with. So even now from you guys coming in, that's stuff that we can follow up on that frankly is quicker and easier to enforce with this guy than some of the police stuff.
Sure.
And you have my
We
word
also
that
know
we'll do
he's
that.
running a business out of his house, but we can't.
Yeah,
That's another thing too. Yeah, we talked with Dave about that. It's just, there's so many things,
yeah,
so.
but as powerless as it sounds, like keep on it, because like you're gonna get a slightly different answer on all of those things. Even the slight issue of like the running a business out of your house, you can actually do that. There's a lot of people that are CPA and do that. The triggers are if you've got people transacting at 3 o'clock in the morning, parking where you can't park.
Well, it's an auto business, so it's more cars
Yeah.
and broken down cars. No, I can't.
So, like I said, now that we have a really good understanding of what we're up against, I'll talk to Dave. We'll just kind of take it a step at a time.
So do you think Dave will be over there in the next day or two though after this? Do you think that?
So my understanding, and you guys will probably be able to refute this pretty easily, there's like subset issues here, right? Nick is a guy that might rip and do things on his own every once in a while, but just as frequent or more frequent is one of the other people that may or may not live there or even just a friend of his. And Nick will say, well, they came from Minneapolis and they left. And then again, you're on this hearsay of who is this guy, where are they
Every
from?
time he says that to them, I've talked to Dave and Dave says, he says it wasn't me.
Yeah.
It's like it was him, we saw him.
Well, and ultimately, as the property owner, you still hold a responsibility to the people that come into your property. It's just, again, from our side of enforcement, we need to verify and identify those issues, like, pretty much as they happen.
But some of them, just to clarify, I mean, the things that they've detailed in this letter clearly are ordinance violations, right? Like, there's no question about that.
Yeah.
Right?
And we're kind of having this sub-conversation, too, before the meeting. We're actively engaged with this guy on a whole bunch of code violations for nuisance matters. And then there's the kind of criminal traffic stuff. Now we're learning about, like, damaging public property, which is, like as a cheap poor kid, like, that bothers me a lot. So,
About the street is absolutely.
There's no
yeah,
respect for
right.
people, neighbors, things, anything.
Yeah,
He wasn't
Right
raised
on.
that way.
yeah. I would be sitting where you guys are. So I'm sorry you've had to go through it, and I'm glad you brought it up.
So now we called 3 times on Friday, so how many times does that count towards this?
So we have a repeat nuisance violation. Basically, I would have to reread it, so don't hold me to this exactly. It sounds like you might know my ordinances better than I do.
It's highlighted.
We go through code enforcement officers like once a year. I'm going to call you next summer.
Cool.
Anyway, I think the way that we classify that is like 3 in one night is essentially one event, like one.
Okay.
Once you get to 3, we can increase our citation and the dollar amount that goes along with it.
So once you get to 3 separate claims.
So separate days, basically. Okay.
Separate days.
within 90 days.
So you're talking about like 3 separate days, but the same complaint?
Yeah.
Or- Okay.
And what
Right.
is,
I just want to make sure so that you guys know, I mean, if you can kind of
Police officers.
plan your, do you know what I mean? Like,
Well, it'll easily be done regardless.
Yeah.
so what if it's 3 separate people with multiple calls from 3 separate, say I call, Mark calls,
But it's the same incident.
so it's the
probably.
same situation.
Again, we're not like coming by saying like I would need to look into it too, but what I'm telling you is like, at least
Printed out.
probably, I'm impressed.
I mean, and I would err on the side of,
The city may
When you
impose
get
a
all too
repeat
much.
nuisance service call fee upon the owner of occupant of private property in the city is rendering services, blah, 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 on 4 or more occasions within a period of 365 days. Well, you guys definitely have that,
Yeah.
so.
and keep in mind, like, that just allows us to send him a fine.
That he'll just
You know,
pay and then do it again.
Or he won't
But,
pay.
you know, he might not pay, and that becomes a misdemeanor, and like it still elevates the tools that we have, but the single biggest thing is we need to verify, identify almost everything. So keep calling, even if it's a pain in the butt. Like, we need you just as much as you need us in that case.
As soon as this truck leaves the driveway, he's breaking the law. It has like a 12-inch lift on it, it has 44-inch.
Yeah.
I think it has a
No fenders
DUI,
there.
doesn't it have a DUI plate on it now, did you say?
I believe it has plates on it.
Oh, I don't know. We have beer bottles in our yard, I mean, it's just, there's so
See, and
many
that's
things
stuff
we
too.
have that you
That's
guys-
other things that we can go after if we know. Like, that's
Okay.
littering, that's also a nuisance. And where you're kind of asking before, like, what happens if one time it's person A and the next time it's person B? That's the kind of level of detail I need to look into. But at least the conversation that I would want to have with Dave and maybe even our city attorney is, it's still this property that's causing the issues. And if we treat it as just more of a generic nuisance violation and don't say squealing tires versus noise, it's going to be easier to say you've had 3 nuisance violations on this property. So there's different, like,
And even the skid marks that come, I mean, it's obvious, they're coming right from his house, so you can tell that, I mean, they have to physically see that vehicle doing that burnout, or that's not enough, you know,
So-
proof that,
At one given time, I videotaped one of his buddies pulling up on the public sidewalk and did a burnout.
we have that video, we just had it today.
And I sent that to Dave,
It's on your side.
and
What was?
Dave wrote, had a plate runner off
To
that
the
car,
church.
did that guy. And now what they're doing is, because on the asphalt, they can't do a good burnout, so they're pulling up onto the east
Oh,
end of the
yeah.
alley where it's concrete, and they're just laying the things out, and then when they get into the gravel of the alleyway, you can hear the rocks hitting Raleigh's house
Yeah.
across the street. Well, Raleigh doesn't want to get involved with it because he doesn't want them.
retaliate.
That's how we feel too, that, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would say it does take a certain level of bravery.
You get to the point where you don't care, and it's like, then trash my cars outside, we have a camera up, you'll go to jail.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is that out of shit, right?
Yeah, but we put cameras up, and you go around his house, it's a fortress, I bet she's got 20 cameras around
Yeah,
his
I've
house.
seen them. It's
And they're
crazy.
pointing at people's doorways, he wants to see what's going on. If you go look, drive by his house, there's cameras on every corner, and they're pointed at everybody's house, not just his. That, to me, I don't think is right. We point ours at our driveway.
It's against the law to point it at, directly at someone
We
else's,
point it
I
at the
think.
street, just
No,
because of
you
this.
can.
This is the only
Oh,
reason
good.
why we have
You can't go
cameras.
from
We're gonna move some cameras around then.
In the act, or doing it, but most of the time, he whips by the house so fast that the camera don't
She'll
catch
do
it.
it.
It's not a video type situation.
Yeah.
It's just a flash camera that goes, switches at night.
Right, you don't have that closer to TV.
Right.
You know.
But he looks like he's got them pointed at everybody's house. I mean, they're, every corner of the house, they're pointed somewhere.
Okay, we've taken enough of your time.
No,
Hope you guys
I
get
mean,
your
I want to
talk,
make sure you guys
so-
get it all out and tell us everything that we need to know.
I'll get it out when I go home and have it back.
Well, I mean, like, in the meantime, I mean, if you do think of anything else, I mean, let's just go over real quickly before you guys go. I don't want to take too much of your time either, but will you just kind of
repeat for all of us what you talked about with documentation and what, you know, when you said getting the neighbors together and kind of.
I actually didn't say anything necessarily about the neighbors together. You guys speak volumes, I'm not discounting that at all. But the biggest thing that I'm reiterating is we need to identify and verify. So the quickest path that you have to a cop, even if you think there's a scanner involved, is dispatch or 911 if you feel that you are not safe.
The legal
Anytime
papers
Facebook
go.
Dave, there's a gap, or text them, like, even if you said that, I'm not dismissing that either. Get a hold of dispatch, get a cop there as soon as possible. I'm not against the camera method, because I know we've actually prosecuted on some of that stuff too. In short of a longer legal dissertation on how, like, this is part of a bigger thing where you go in front of a judge and the judge is gonna say, what evidence do you have? And we say, well, we just know he's bad. Doesn't work. So we need your help with that evidence. We need a cop on site to identify it. So that's kind of the vehicle criminal-y stuff, right?
What about okay, now we're going back to the campfire thing, or the fire.
Yeah.
When I see a fire like that, I'm gonna call 911 and have a fire department dispatch, because the fire that he had on Saturday night, I could see over the garage of his house It was actually, there was embers the size of 12 packs floating on the.
It was really windy out.
Church
Yeah, I was
roof.
saying, it was.
And I don't like, so that's a whole, like, that's an ordinance, or an ordinance as well. You can't burn garbage, you need to be able to control your fire, it can only be for recreational, like, that should have been a coaching moment for that officer too, in my opinion, if it was that high. That would have been an
It was the
easy,
size of a car.
yeah, like a literal pun intended smoking gun where they should have done something more on that.
Well, and that's kind of where we're at, like, we're feeling like, what are they saying? Hey, guys, keep it down, okay, bye? Like, I
Right,
don't
yeah.
think they're being very assertive about it because they sure think it's a joke, so.
90% of the actions are because all he's getting is one of these every time an officer comes out, whether it's Wright County or Howard Lake.
Sure. I can't speak to Wright County, and again, I'm like, I'm just saying we need to see it happen.
Right.
And I also can't speak to citations, like, I don't know what has or hasn't happened
Sure.
there, I guess, but.
So I think on our end, I mean, you know, unfortunately, what we're getting from this is there's very little we can do in the way of, you know, stopping them from acting that way. 'Cause, you know, unfortunately, being stupid isn't against the law, or being
Can you
disrespectful
push
isn't.
more police
Well, and
presence
that's what I
over
was gonna say,
there?
but what we can do is probably increase the police presence. I think we for sure can do that. You know, what that means, I don't know without speaking to Dave.
Just drive by. We never
Right.
hardly
And then
ever see a
that's
drive
like,
by.
it's probably just gonna be more.
Right, you might actually catch something if you do.
Yeah, and maybe we know, you know, maybe if they know that certain times of the day are worse than others, then that would be helpful.
You can count on every Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and even Monday night seems to be.
Monday night, yeah.
Yeah, interesting. And I was actually going glass half full there, Mr. Mayor, because I think there's a lot we can
Was
do.
I seeing, I didn't mean to seem pessimistic.
Yeah, I think there's a lot we can do, but we need you to call dispatch every time. We can do extra patrols. I'll talk to Dave about the more convoluted, like, we treat this as almost like an investigation type piece.
Yes.
Yeah,
It's
that was
just-
the other thing I would say too, is
Awesome.
we clearly need to take it, I mean, I don't wanna say that they're not taking it seriously, because I'm sure that they are, but, you know, it's depending on who's responding and kind of that continuity of service, maybe they, you know, they need to see the big picture, that, you know, police department needs to view it as a big picture, not just one city.
Right. I think he thinks all that's gonna happen is they're gonna come, they're gonna tell us to be quiet, they're gonna leave, and nothing's gonna even happen, so
Right.
carry on.
Right,
If
right.
you're on your way home, I know three of you both all live in the Gene and Tom.
Yeah.
You all live in the, drive down that street on your way home. Yeah, just tell me like that.
I've seen the.
Tom drives it
Yeah.
every day, I believe.
Yeah.
Well, I really like I mean, maybe this sounds dumb, but one of the things that bothers me, that would bother me most, I think, is the smoke and the tar smell
horrible.
in your house. I mean, you know.
I mean, you see in the picture how big,
Yeah,
it's
right. I mean,
ridiculous. The
that's-
whole,
Right.
And
oops,
it's
sorry.
unhealthy
Yeah,
for everyone.
correct.
Oh, it fills up the house so much that you can't see it on the hallway, that's acceptable. And my daughter's gotta breathe that, I gotta breathe that, the house smells like burnt rubber for 3 days. That's okay, that's not okay in my book.
Do you two wanna add anything?
Just pretty much Dave and his crew, just be more secretive about it. Don't just drive by thinking, oh, they're gonna
Or
act
sit
up
right
and be
there,
here, you know? And when you set up at 5 in the morning trying to watch him bail out of his house, don't have your spotlight flashing on him, because I think he's gonna notice that.
Yeah.
She leaves the
Right.
house at 5:30 in the morning.
Right. And he had north,
On
12, right?
Between 25 after to 35, 5:35, he leaves the house in the morning, and he leaves just like he does every night, bad on health, to the floor.
There's also some regulations and laws on entrapment.
Oh, that was something I wanted to ask. I'm sorry I interrupted.
That's basically all I
The
know.
ordinances state that Monday through Friday, it's till 10?
Isn't that weird? Yeah.
And is that correct?
It
And it's
is.
9
I don't
o'clock
know-
on the weekend, so
I
it's
don't know
earlier?
Why that is. So we're
I thought they were-
updating all of our ordinances
Yeah.
now. So fun fact, you also need a license to have a pinball machine in Howard Lake.
Okay.
And a soda jerk. A whole bunch of them are just dumb and old.
Okay,
We just saw that, like knowingly saw that like a month or two ago. It'll be changed.
okay, so it is wrong, so it is,
I don't know if it's
She
wrong.
has an explanation.
Yeah.
I remember when we did that, is because people wanted to get stuff done and they got home late at night to get the lawn mowing and that stuff done, especially in the summer, but no one wants to do it on weekends.
Or they need to use equipment.
So I remember.
So it was
when-
9
that
all
was-
around, and then they moved it till 10 for the weekdays?
Yeah,
Okay.
that makes sense.
I just want to know what the real,
It was
if those
very
are
close to the
right,
same.
because,
Yeah. I mean, either way, what they're doing goes way beyond.
right,
any sort of
time doesn't matter.
Noise, I mean,
Sure.
it's more than just loud music. We're not just talking about,
Right.
you know, an occasional loud
Right,
stereo.
right. Okay,
Thank
thank you.
Don't feel like you gotta stick around if you can. Don't
Yeah,
feel like you gotta.
so, I mean,
Cause you got a cocktail waiting. I mean.
do you have, I mean, do you feel like you got enough direction? I
I
mean,
want a sticker.
haven't I noticed that though?
No, I feel very acknowledged by all of you, and I appreciate it. It's just, I would like to see the action to follow that.
Yeah, I mean, I hate that the responsibility is on you to
I feel
make
like
the calls
that's
that you
like
check.
the only way, or our
Yeah.
video that we take, because I don't feel it's gonna happen any other way, do you?
Absolutely not.
Obviously, that's why we're here.
And honestly,
years
if,
later.
you know, if you're still, I mean, if a month goes by and you don't feel like there's been an increase in police presence, or, you know, please, you know, come back or call Nick or call one of us.
Stop over at Tom's house.
Yeah, I mean, I would pick Tom first. He gets home around 5:15.
Yeah, they work together.
Just drive home with him, Corey. You can just.
No, we've had that problem before.
All right, thank you for your time.
Thanks.
I'm sorry that.
Yeah.
Miserable.
So are we. Hopefully something will change soon.
Thanks, guys.
Yeah,
Thank you.
thanks. Have a good night.
You too.
I hope it's a little quieter tonight.
If not, call.
Can I get all your cell phones?
I got a couple of them.
All right, that was item E, nobody else here, so we're gonna move on. Are there any council committee reports? No. Okay. Item G, we don't have a report. Item H, consent agenda, we have 2 items on there to be approved.
Should be, Mr. Mayor, should be.
Oh, I'm sorry, you're right. Printed first pages. Consider accepting all reports, payment of claims, consider various personnel appointments, and approve a temporary 3-2 liquor license and assign a fee if appropriate.
Oh, you know, that's a holdover from last year. We have a fee for the open liquor license.
Yeah, okay. So, unless any of those need discussion, I'll entertain a motion to approve the consent agenda.
I'll make a motion.
We have a motion, is there a second?
I'll start it.
We have a motion and a second. Any further discussion from the council? All those in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Item I, presentations, public hearings, and approvals, there are none. Item J, new business. Item A under J, consider approving COVID-19 preparedness plan.
Yes, basically, under Governor Walz's executive order number 20-74, we as a city are required to have a COVID-19 preparedness plan on file with the state by June 29th. In order to make this COVID-19 plan, I went to the DEED website and put in a link and made a couple more changes. Pretty standard stuff that we need to do as we might want this. Essentially, we again need to have this in place for hygiene, respiratory etiquette, social distancing guidelines. I will make the note now, 2 of you should be in front. We'll do that next time. And then just the identification and response, how we handle sick people.
I'll make a note.
Thank you.
You need a lot more than that right there.
Perfect. And then management and oversight of said plan. Protection and controls is basically anything that we have outward facing action with the public. So the front counter you'll see is hand sanitizer, the plexiglass, that's the same. I'm pretty proud of it, that was my kind. Got a lot of grief for it though.
Did you do the liquor store too?
No. So just things like that are in place. And then we do have some more specific things to Howard Lake. So one of them that I'll actually bring up is in regards to the orphans. The orphans under this COVID preparedness plan have acknowledged the Minnesota Baseball Association's COVID-19 plan, which essentially if they file insurance with the city, which they do anyway, get explicit permission from the city administrator as part of our greater preparedness plan, they can go back to playing ball.
They're planning on Wednesday
Yeah, Friday.
Yeah,
without concessions though.
Yeah.
That's
Correct.
part of the deal.
Almost,
Yeah.
almost.
I mean, you probably can make commitments.
I don't think no.
Get Lane's down there with their snow.
We somewhat hedged our bet that you guys would approve it, but I did say that it's contingent on council approval.
Yeah. We did not, I just did cancel it.
Please don't, it's gonna be awful.
Just kidding, our friends. Ah.
I think we're about 5 minutes.
I know. I mean, I have about 10, but. So I'm assuming that their plan is in line with this one?
Yeah, so theirs is even more specific because it's literally what you need to do to play baseball in this.
Right,
You know?
yeah.
It covers things like concession stands, not shaking hands before or after, sanitizing equipment. Some of the things that I didn't think of, like you can't have sunflower seeds.
Yeah. That's major league baseball too.
Yeah, so.
No sunflower seeds. Mistake. Okay. I know. Is it permanent, temporary, nobody knows. All right, so we just need a motion to approve.
Correct.
Then, we'll entertain that. We'll entertain a motion. Did you make a motion? I made it. I'm sorry. We have a motion, is there a second? A motion and a second, any further discussion from the council? All those in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Item D, consider awarding bids for Central Park Phase 1 park improvements. Exciting.
Council, at the direction of the council meeting on May 21st, city staff went out for bid on phase 1 of the Central Park reconstruction project. This phase includes parking lot reconfiguration, mass grading of the site, installation of concrete and electrical support for the amphitheater, sidewalk connections, and pedestrian level lighting. We did remove the splash pad from this phase, just to remind everybody. The city received bids from 8 contractors, and the bids were opened on Wednesday, June 10th at 10 a.m. The bids ranged from $241,000 to $301,000. The lowest bid we received was from Gherkin Bros out of Richmond, Minnesota, for the $41,000 and some change.
So, was there something that came in, I mean, was there one specific piece that came in higher than what our estimate was, or
So
was there something unexpected?
I think the biggest thing is just recognizing that it's a relatively small project with
Yeah.
a bunch of small specialty trades.
Right.
So even from a general contracting standpoint, you know, you're bringing in an electrician, you're bringing in an asphalt person, you're bringing in a concrete. So I think almost all of those were just slightly higher, and then collectively as a general contractor, you still need your overhead and profit on top of that.
Right.
And just in general, you know, we've had what I would consider our terrible engineers' estimates in front of us in the past. This is still really within that acceptable range of plus or minus 10%.
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't, you know, shocked that it's, yeah, it just hasn't happened in a while. So.
Yeah.
Yeah, my name is Mr. Mayor, to the council. Looking at the 8 bids too, they're all fairly good. So we got competitive bid. There's no doubt this is our condition right now, so.
Yeah, I did notice that too. Usually you see one huge outlier. And when would they be able to start this work? Do we know that yet?
We have not done a pre-con, and we do not have a substantial start date.
If I mean, Mr. Mayor, first we have to award the project to get a pre-con, to find out what their schedule is, and then relay that to you. So we don't know, but if I'm talking to them, obviously, I know a lot about Gherkin. I did check the references and such. Very capable contractor. I was actually happy to hear of them after the fact, but he was anticipating like a mid-July start.
Oh, okay.
Is it a poor assumption though to, I mean, if they are the selected contractor for phase 1, and we move it into the other phases, is there any benefit to having continuity? I mean, we have to put them back out for bid, but they might come in the high bid the next time, they might come in the middle of the road, but what are any thoughts about that?
Considering the remainder of the work, you're gonna see some more specialty working, looking at the different subcontractors want to kind of splash pad, some other specialty, even get into the library. I mean, we're talking completely different firms that are probably going to be here steadily.
Yeah, their specialty wouldn't be a splash pad necessarily anyway. Okay.
I also remember the council member asking that on a completely different project. And the engineer, with Romano, said that the plans are good, it doesn't matter.
I mean,
Joshua.
right, I mean, it's true.
No pressure, Josh.
Okay.
Exciting.
Yeah. Well, I think we can entertain a motion.
I'll make a motion.
We have a motion, is there a second? We have a motion and a second, any further discussion from the council? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Item C, under new business, consider awarding bids for historic city hall landscaping.
So this one's more complicated. We sought quotes, so I think we invited, and I'm being direct or intentional with that, this is quotes, not sealed bids, because of the threshold. We invited, I think, some dozen different contractors and vendors that we're given information of to get quotes from. Ultimately, we received 2 back, one from Cattail Corner and one from JK Landscaping. The difficulty that we have here is understanding through our city engineer, and I'll ask Josh to speak to this, the low bid is not being recommended to you for approval. It was actually about 1/3 of the engineer's estimate and 1/3 of the proposed bid. Every resource that we can find, including the earth moving, the plants themselves, we don't know how that can be performed. Like, it's below their cost or for material.
So you don't have confidence in the bid itself,
Right.
right? Is that
Right.
fair?
We don't know how they could possibly perform that. And it's not a case where, you know, you don't need to make as much money. This would literally be losing money before you pay someone to do the work.
So, but if they're willing to do that, why wouldn't we want to try and take advantage of it? Not take advantage of it,
Yeah.
that's not it. Capitalize, I guess, I don't know.
Yeah, I think
Benefits of
that's a fair question. We would potentially run the risk of awarding that project, paying them partial payment for partial work done, to then have to rebid, redo the work, and pay more on the back end of it. And quite candidly, we run into this very same issue with the same vendor in the past.
Okay, that's fair enough. And with a quote process, you're not obligated to, I mean, we didn't have to see quotes at all. We could have just hired somebody to do this, right?
Correct.
Just so that everyone's clear about the legality.
Yeah, there's no legal thing that says you have to do this. One of the other firms that did not submit a quote, and I just frankly asked, like, prodding them before the deadline to get it in, they said, we can't do it for anything close to even that engineer's estimate. And now we have something that's close to an engineer's estimate and something that's just inexplicably lower. I also followed back up with the other vendor and said, you know, just to be clear, we're now asking this person or the selected firm to do the earth moving, because we don't have the whiz heavy equipment operator that we did a month ago. And then their price increased by, I think, $500, and it's just, we couldn't do it for $500 in fuel. I mean, I don't know how they can perform that contract.
So,
So the reason that the low bid really would not be advantageous to award it to that low bidder was for past work performance or the quality of the performance. It's like Josh spoke to Gergen Brothers, you have access to their references or their past work, so that's why the suggestion to us would be to go with JD.
Yeah, you should make some sort of reason. That is a very valid reason. But I'm being straight with you on what the low bid was versus this. I don't get any joy out of this. Like, I was excited about having a project that we could have local folks do and be part of. But I have pretty big reservations that it would be more person than less. And I also asked a question to Mike Corey, like, just, we've been 22, and that did not include
Okay, well. Any thoughts, council?
I would prefer to do some local business, but it's in our best interest, we're spending the dollar wisely, and we have to make those well, we can get educated.
Yeah, when you're hiring somebody to be the expert, you don't, I mean, you want to have confidence in them to the point where you don't feel like you have to babysit the project. I mean, we already do enough babysitting of projects around here when it's a street project or city hall, park, library, I mean, I don't think we want, or me, or have time for that kind of stuff.
I was thinking references from J and K are much more broader than Capital. You go on their website, which I've been on the website, and not a lot of positive.
I mean, they just did work for us last year at Burns Park.
Right.
Actually, further rectifying some previous work.
Okay, cool. Well, with some, we'll entertain a motion, I guess.
I'll make a motion to go ahead and J&K landscape for the city hall landscape.
So we have a motion, is there a second?
Second.
We have a motion and a second, any further discussion from the council? All those in favor signify by saying aye. Opposed? Motion carries. And D, consider awarding bids for the 2020 street improvement projects. We're awarding a lot of bids.
Yeah. So again, we went out for bids on our 2020 street repair projects. You may recall that our base bid was Haywood Drive and Dutch Lake Trail in full. In addition to that, we also added some alternatives that included Block 18 at Mill and Overlay, as well as the post office. So tonight we'd actually be looking to award the base bid for sure. I'll get to the bid alternatives in just a second, but ultimately we do need to award a base bid tonight. The bid alternatives that we've had in front of us, the post office has come to us just asking what we're doing for street projects. They're willing to pay for their portion of this listed here. Less of a storefront grant that I'll bring back next month, but that's eligible. So anyway, that's a cost neutral proposition. We included Block 18 after we met with council, just with the simple understanding that we did not know what bids would be like in COVID times and just this kind of crazy world we're in with gas prices or oil prices, I should say. And I'm pretty thankful that we did, because ultimately what we have for base bid and both alternatives is less than what we had for the base bid originally expected. These are very good competitive bids that we received. I think something that council should consider, just given the very good prices that you have in front of you. Do you want to do Block 18? One question. The second is, do you want to do Block 18 and some other road work that we have around town? Some examples include 8th Avenue. There's some spots where actually Councilor Munson brought this up, just a perpetual pool on 8th Avenue and 10th Street, 11th Street, something like that. Yeah. Anyway, just do some other corrective work. Originally, when we had said about this, our price tag, we didn't really want to exceed somewhere between $350,000 and $400,000. But tonight, seriously consider the base bid. I think that's almost a no-brainer. At least provide some input back to staff to sharpen the pencils and consideration on alternatives.
I mean, I would have told Nick, like, you're gonna bid that cheap, find every spot you can in town, but do it now.
I was gonna say, 8th Avenue, you're up by the school.
Yeah.
We need to
And
fully
you
reconstruct.
the school at Haywood.
Yeah.
And if you're already doing Haywood,
So the good and bad of 8th Avenue, keep in mind, we cannot afford to do utilities. So we'd still be doing just pavement surface if we do anything on 8th Avenue and not doing utilities. We don't necessarily know the full condition of the underground utilities, but we also know that we're not going to do a reconstruct of 8th Avenue until 2027. Or a later date, I should say, about 2024 or 25.
I mean, it's actually the beat 24.
We're jockeying right now to really push for 23, 24, 25, and very likely it's going to be a multiple year project anyway, just how these things go.
So then would you recommend just doing some, having patching on each avenue, or you're talking like?
So I think, again, not to like completely input the words, I think, if I were you, I'd be more concerned with the overall budget for 2020 pavement projects. And I'm telling you that sweet spot is somewhere between 350 and 400, and right now you're at about 320. We just, it takes a little bit of time. I don't know if Josh reached out to the likely awarded bidder, but one thing that we will ask for, if we haven't already, is just a quote on 8th Avenue. And once we have that, we can come back to council next month and talk about the way.
So that would just be a mill and overlay there also.
I mean, it kind of makes sense if you block 18 now, since the lot is getting less use because of whatever going on.
And in each of two, I mean,
Yeah. I was worried about the drainage, like that being corrected, because obviously there's drainage issues.
and that's part of this.
And it's gonna be disruptive to those businesses, and, that's always something.
Pretty minimal disruption though, I mean, it's not, it's not a full recon, it's
Yeah,
not a
sure.
month-long project, it's probably a week or 2 weeks tops. Josh, that was thing here, you wanna add any more?
The only thing, Mr. Mayor and Council, when you do award, and if you want to move past the base bid, you have to award in the basis of the award that you received your alternate bid. So you can do base bid plus alt 1, or base bid alt 1 plus alt 2.
Okay.
Good thought. Right? If they have nothing else going, then tying on a little bit more work. would be
Yeah.
great.
To me, the debate isn't block 18 or the post office, because we know the post office is gonna be cost neutral. It's gonna be if you wanna do block 18 plus anything else.
I mean, is there anything else identified other than 8th Avenue that you?
8th Avenue is the obvious lower hanging fruit, and even then, like in Bean Street,
Fourth, is it the worst or the worst though?
It's for
Well, there's.
near the tracks.
Yeah, there's a bad area.
Kind of Road 6 on.
Fourth and 11th, maybe.
That's a small section, so. That's not what I'm saying, I'm just saying, it's not, it's not like doing all the way back.
And I think I hadn't been on it last week or whatever, but I think the condition of the 4th versus 8th Avenue are pretty similar. The other things that you take into consideration is the amount of traffic, the
Yeah.
purpose of the road. 8th Avenue is really our second main street.
Right, that's true.
Yeah, I think even if the intersection work could be looked at down there, maybe, there was a intersection somewhere. That would definitely help too when you're speaking to folks that want to know what is next, what is next for improvements, when am I going to see it, is it when those are awarded and you put a blurb out on the city page to try to speak, to, hey, this, the next one is going to be in 2023, and this is what it's going to be.
Yeah. So I think if that's the direction that you're going, I would almost recommend, and good reminder from Josh, to award the base plus the bid alts, and then we bring back anything extra on top of that.
That makes sense.
One more comment.
Yeah.
The only problem with that 4th Street is there any truck that doesn't go under the bridge. There are a lot of them. Fresh one out there the other day. That's their failover right there. So it does take a bit more beating.
That's true.
Once we've got not a lot of traffic, once some of their trucking goes that way. Anything going north from their plant goes around and over and so forth, so it's going to get beat down. Wondering what you think.
But, the argument against that is that it's not made for that. They shouldn't be going that way. It's not.
Well,
I know that, you can't stop them, but we're not gonna build a road with specifications for a semi when it's a residential street. So fixing it isn't going to make it last longer for truck traffic.
If you didn't allow any trucks over in that section of town because they're overloaded, I'd be happy. But
Yeah.
and
Right.
as long as we got monsters here and we were not bad, treat them badly, of course. So there's going to be a lot of
question to Mid-Minnesota for a quote to compare it.
Sure.
I mean, there's no harm in
Maybe
it.
they wanna tack it on, but, and it's, what, 2-3 blocks or something, right? 2-3 blocks, yeah. So it's not much of a deal. It's just, it's either that or you gotta get some real concentrated repair or pothole you got, so upgrade it a little bit.
So we don't need that as part of the motion.
No, that's just something we'll follow.
So is that direction we staff then? Okay, so then I think we'll entertain a motion, and like Josh said, we want to make the motion to accept the base bid and, you know, either both or one bid all then whoever makes the motion chooses to include. Someone will entertain that motion.
Yeah, make a motion to that effect.
So you want to do base bid and both bid alls?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
We have a motion there, second.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any further discussion from the council? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. All right, old business, consider approving the fence installation at 700 Avenue.
Yep, so this was tabled, so in the very least, you need to at least vote it down or say that you're not doing it, just to tidy it up. But I did include a couple of pieces of information based on questions and comments that you guys made last month. We have about $500 in site prep work that we're gonna do regardless of a fence or not. That's been completed just to level off the site. That will go towards the cost of the fence if you award the fence. If not, we have to pay that site prep. The next point is just making it clear, this is something that Sparks brought up. Basically, any development that we put here, we will need to screen either through dense vegetation, a hill, or a fence. If there's going to be a different townhome complex, a different zoning classification, anything different than one house, we're going to need some sort of screening between zoning districts.
What do we have for possibilities for that property different than we did over the last year?
What do you mean?
What are we gonna do?
I think that's a fair question too.
That would guide us.
Right now, people express interest, but it's still like easier to build on a flat piece of property that's never been built on, like the villas, than something like this. When we originally bought this, it was with the at least general understanding that we would buy this and hope that in time we could assemble more properties to do something bigger. But right now, I don't have like an active developer knocking on the door to do something. And then the last one, they were asked about just like, what else are we doing with it? I think you get a pretty good indication right now. I mean, at least paint the garage so it doesn't look like it's gonna fall over.
I think the garage looks
great.
great.
Put some flowers in there and some park benches.
Yeah.
Trying to get approval for what we already did.
Yeah.
You trying to get approval for what you already did.
Catch that. But no,
That's for
we'll
forgetting,
reach out
that's
to
for
it.
forgetting.
I figured out in the last like week or so that we do have extra pavers from downtown that were ripped out from Munson Lakes.
Yeah.
That hopefully we can get like Winnie and gang to put a little patio up front.
That's what I was gonna ask, whatever happened to all the pavers from the sidewalks
And there will be more.
and that?
We still got most of them.
So that was my thought.
Yeah.
Why couldn't we do something like that, put a couple park benches there?
Yep.
Yeah.
And that's when I reached out. I haven't heard back from Winnie yet, but.
Well, they are looking for projects.
Yeah. That's funny, because I think I sent an email and call within the last 2 weeks on both of those. I haven't heard back, but I mean, like summer vacation or something, I don't know.
Sure.
So I feel like the screening, I understand that if something to be built there, there needs to be screening between two separate zoning districts, but I also feel like that's an argument to not do a fence. Because if you're gonna build something and there's already a fence there and it doesn't work into your plan, now you have to tear out that fence and do something different, so.
I won't die on the sword, so.
Yeah, I mean,
Maybe
I
we should
I just don't see anything happening real soon.
I mean, we can always
That's a little
change our
shop that
mind.
was there.
Yeah,
That's what I thought.
I mean, that's not bad. It's not like we can't ever do a fence if we say no right now, so. So,
There's nothing saying whether we have to do the fence, the builder can do the fence.
Yeah.
right. So I think we still need to do, you know, site prep work, and I think we still need to do a bench or.
Yeah, and I'm fine with it. You just can't table something and.
Right, yeah, so we need a motion then to reject the fence plan, I guess, would be, I don't know what the motion needs to be. We don't need to make a motion if we
Just reject a quote, that's fine.
Okay.
Okay.
Would someone like to make that motion?
I'll make, okay.
We have a motion, is there a second?
I'll second.
We have a motion and a second, any further discussion from the council? All those in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Item L, you didn't have any administrative support, Mary?
Can I ask one question to start out with?
Yeah.
The little island areas, are
Yeah.
we putting plants in there?
Yeah, so I think we just sprayed them with herbicide
I
this
saw
week.
Bridget working on
Yeah.
that, so.
Yeah, we're working on it, it's, for some reason that has not percolated up to the top of their priority list, but I know just this week she sprayed them to get rid of the weeds and.
Because I made a clean storm rings.
Probably.
That time.
We're just doing great though, guys, I mean, she's getting kind of a lot of those seasonal pests anyway.
Sorry about
Yeah, she's doing good.
Yeah.
Really good.
So, as long as we're, one more question.
Yeah.
Anything new with the villas?
Yeah, I can do it now or a workshop too, because we still have a workshop.
Oh, okay, right, then, let's just hold it.
Okay.
Well, entertain a motion to adjourn.